From February to March 2022, the Institute for Autonomy and Governance conducted assessment and consultation activities with party leaders and key stakeholders in Cotabato City, Marawi City, and Zamboanga City, the outcome of which will shape the framework of intervention for capacitating political parties in the Bangsamoro region. This is part of the inclusive party building and policy development project that the Institute for Autonomy and Governance is implementing in partnership with the National Democratic Institute. But why the need to develop regional political parties, and why do we need them in the emerging Bangsamoro region? Here's IAG Executive Director, Attorney Benedicto Bacani.
IAG is honored to partner with the National Democratic Institute in implementing this project to develop meaningful and strong political party system and parties in the Bangsamoro region. This project is relevant and necessary in building the political infrastructure towards sustainable peace, security, and development in the southern Philippines. The establishment of a regional parliamentary system anchored on principled and independent political parties is an opportunity to promote inclusive governance, to address feelings of marginalization and alienation by citizens that triggered the rebellions and rise of violent extremism in the past. A good political party system can also inform the push for constitutional reforms to strengthen political parties in the Philippines. In this project, we will help promote and strengthen public policies that will reform elections and the political party system in the region. We will help promote data and evidence-based public policies crafted in a way that is consultative and transparent. We will also help raise capacities to promote internal democracy and effectiveness among emerging and existing political parties. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to NDI for this partnership and to the political leaders and groups in the Bangsamoro for allowing us to journey with them in this very critical task. Thank you.
Following the ratification of the Bangsamoro Organic Law or the BOL and the formation of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao in 2019, the new Bangsamoro government is on the cusp of making a regional political party system work under a parliamentary form of government as provided for in the BOL. This new opportunity can be made more meaningful with the participation and representation of women, indigenous peoples, and marginalized groups in political parties and in democratic processes in the Bangsamoro. As our next guests will tell us.
The Bangsamoro, as a political entity, was established out of our people's desire for recognition, as we asserted the right to self-determination. As an autonomous region, the Bangsamoro holds promise and potential as a platform for representation in the national context, especially in matters of public policy and legislation. At the top of the BTA Parliament's list of priorities is making sure that the regional government itself promotes meaningful representation and participation among its constituents, as it facilitates the success of our region's political transition. The need to open up spaces for comprehensive and multi-sectoral legislation is clearly highlighted in the Bangsamoro Organic Law itself, as it allocates half of the seats in Parliament to representatives of political parties who are elected through systems of proportional representation based on the Bangsamoro territorial jurisdiction, and with at least 10% allocated for reserved seats and sectoral representatives. The reserved seats at the minimum include 2 reserved seats, each for non-Moro indigenous peoples and settler communities, while women, youth, traditional leaders, and the ulama shall have 1 sectoral seat each. However, as with most laws, the implementation is not always as straightforward when placed in a context with pre-existing conditions of marginalization and inequality. This is why providing support towards forming genuinely principled political parties that are truly representative of marginalized sectors in the Bangsamoro is very important. And strengthening these parties through capacity building and development is essential to the success of the Bangsamoro regional government. The Bangsamoro would not have been built if not for the constant collaboration between our vibrant civil society, which has consistently advocated for the rights of our people, the Moro revolutionaries who represented us at the peace tables, and the Philippine government. This spirit of collaboration can breathe new life into our ways of governance through a political party system that thrives on genuine representation and meaningful participation. This same spirit of collaboration needs to be integrated into the workings of the regional government if it is to succeed as a true testament to our right to self-determination, one that affirms the rights of women and children, honors our kinship with non-Moro indigenous peoples, and uplifts the life of every person who shares in our history and heritage as people of the Bangsamoro. I am fully supportive of IAG's Bangsamoro Inclusive Political Party and Policy Development Program. Congratulations to IAG and wishing you all the best in this endeavor.
We in the GDP strongly believe that the functional and genuinely principled party system in the barn can be instrumental to make sure that our government develops inclusive policies that are reflective of the moral needs in the local context where it operates, and at the same time help the government steers where the people needs it to be. And then having a multi-party system that are true to the sectors they represent help ensures that the expressions and voices of people and groups like women, youth, ITs and other marginalized sectors are heard and acted upon. It makes government responsive, accountable and inclusive, where people and everyone gets to have a say on how government acts and behaves. We have this newborn and relatively new form of government, so it is only necessary that the efforts from all actors are synchronized and must come to work together to make sure and we make it as we envisioned it to be.
Functional and genuinely principled political party or party system in the Bangsamoro is very essential, as this reflects the kind of political landscape present in the region. It will also pave the way for various political reform agenda, development agenda, political aspirations to be brought to elevated discussions such as political debates and healthy discourses by which these political parties manifest to represent and commit themselves to represent and air. Hence, as civil society organizations who work with the communities and the sectors in different areas within the region shall also be open to establishing linkages with different organized or established political movements and even political parties, so that there will be complementarity in terms of representation, and also it will be an opportunity for accountability to truly manifest and be lived by leaders that are present in the Bangsamoro. This is one way of positively influencing the policy making and translating it to mechanisms that are responsive to the needs of the members of the community. And in terms of representation, groups that are identified as marginalized and underrepresented, such as women, socially excluded youth, the indigenous peoples, the persons with disabilities, shall also be given the opportunity to represent themselves and to participate in the regional political processes for us to allow different voices, different concerns from various sectors to be heard and create programs that will directly impact their lives. At the end of the day, the regional government is all about taking care of the needs of the individual sector by which they identify themselves as Bangsamoro, regardless whether you're part of the MILF, the non-MILF groups, and whether you're Muslim, Christian, or Lumad. We are all in this together because we are one Bangsamoro.
Isa hong makabuluhang proyekto na sa tingin ko ay talagang tumutugon dun sa ikain ng Bangsamoro government na magkaroon ng transparent, moral, at saka inclusive governance. Subalit, magiging posible lamang ho ito pagka nabigyan ho ng sapat na kakayanan, sapat na kaalaman, yung mga marginalized sector katulad ng kababaihan, kabataan at mga katutubo para magampanan yung kanilang papel. Bilang kinatawan ng katutubo sa Bangsamoro Parliament, ako ho ay sumusuporta sa mga ganitong proyekto para magabayan ho yung ating Bangsamoro government na makamit yung kanyang adhikain.
Ikinagagalak ng IAG na maging katuwang sa susunod na 18 buwan sa hangaring palakasin at pasiglahin ang demokrasya at sistemang politikal sa Bangsamoro sa pamamagitan ng proyektong ito kasama ng National Democratic Institute. Narito si Binibining Raisa Tatad Hazel, ang Deputy Regional Director for Asia ng NDI.
Magandang araw mula sa National Democratic Institute o NDI. Ang NDI ay isang non-profit at nonpartisan NGO na sumusuporta at nagpapatibay ng mga demokratikong institusyon sa pamamagitan ng pagpapayabong ng pakikilahok ng mga mamamayan at pagsulong na maging bukas at may pananagutan ang pamahalaan. Halos 40 taon na nagsasagawa ng NDI ang mga programa sa mahigit 150 bansa. Sa Pilipinas, makasaysayan ang mga ugnayan at programa ng NDI. Mula noong 1986, nakipagtulungan ng NDI sa pagbabantay ng halalan at pagsulong ng demokratikong pamamahala, pakikilahok ng kababaihan sa politika, pagpapayabong ng civil society, at pagbibigay boses sa mga kabataan. Kaya namang ipinagmamalaki ng NDI ang pakikiisa at pakipagtulungan sa Institute for Autonomy and Governance o IAG upang suportahan ang demokratikong pagbabago o democratic political transition sa Bangsamoro. Magkatuwang ang NDI at IAG sa pagbibigay ng ilang programa tungo sa pagpapatibay ng kakayahan ng mga umiiral, mga umuusbong, o mga mamubuo pa na political party at tungo sa pagpapalawig ng ugnayan at talakayan ng civil society, political parties, kababaihan at mga katutubo sa Bangsamoro. Layunin namin na mabigyan ng suporta ang mga institusyong politikal at political parties sa pagbuo ng mga inklusibong polisiya na akma sa mga pangailangan at interes ng mga tao sa pamamagitan ng makabuluhang pagsangguni sa iba't ibang grupo at mamamayan ng Bangsamoro. Malawak ang karanasan ng NDI sa mga programang nagtataguyod ng technical assistance sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo upang masuportahan ang pagpapaunlad at papalakas ng mga demokratikong institusyon. Sa pamamagitan ng mga programang ito, natulungan ng NDI ang mga institusyong politikal at political parties na bigyang halaga ang makabagong puwang o plataporma ng pampolitika at maisama ang papel ng kababaihan at kabataan sa pagbuo ng mga polisiya, sa pamumuno at mamayang pagkilos. Kaisa ang IIG, umaasa ang NDI na makapagambag sa mas pinaigting nagpapahalaga sa demokrasya at pagkakaroon ng pangmatagalang katahimikan sa Bangsamoro. Maraming salamat.